Before we begin this week's wrap-up, I'm going to immediately say that I could not find the lists of the top 3 or 4 of the ARG Finals players because I couldn't find them on the ARG website. If any of you have it, do drop a link through Facebook or Twitter or Discord or whatever, and I'll include it in the next month's wrap-up, but I could not get my hands on it for this one, so I do apologize. But let's get into the results of this last month. Let's begin with Japan and one of their unofficial tournaments, which was called the Emperor's Cup. This gave us a very interesting champion of the event because the list that the winner used is basically an old school Luquier / Beast Tamer Legion list. So this deck is very reminiscent of the basically old school Pale Moon of set 7, which is very nice to see, and it's very surprising to see Luquier top after all this time, but I'm very happy to see it. Now the rest of the top 4 is not as exciting because it's essentially Time Leap, and Time Leap. So the winner is very interesting to see, but sadly the rest of the top 4 is not as exciting. Next up we have the Sendai VGCS. The winner of this event was a PRISM list, which you'll see on your screen right now. This was actually one of the first PRISM tops in the game at the time of release. So that was definitely nice to see. In second place there's an Overlord list that basically ran the cross with the legend. Then we have a pretty staple 7Cs list in third place. And an interesting Ripple list in 4th place, which actually runs no grade 3s. So basically no striding, just grade 2 abuse with Odysseus, which is, interesting to see in this day and age. Next up is Fighters Road. As always, I'll drop the reminder that Fighters Road is G regulation only. The final qualifier of Fighters Road was in Nagoya, and the top 4 lists of this event was Diablo in 1st place, Sanctuary Guard with Altmile in 2nd place, in 3rd place was just pure Sanctuary Guard, and in 4th place was a Harmony deck, which we have not seen post the clan booster, so I know a lot of people have been asking to see a Harmony deck list because they're generally not as popular because Prisms are kind of the big thing right now, so there you have it. And now the final of Fighters Road, so this is by far the final Fighters Road of the year. They use the G regulation. The results are the following. In 1st place, Time Leap, which is not the biggest surprise, let's face it. But in 2nd place was a Darkface list, which was definitely a surprise. So I'm quite happy to see that because people are kind of underestimating Darkface, and I think it is a pretty strong deck, especially in G regulation. So we have that. In 3rd place, we have a Sanctuary Guard Dragon list. And in 4th place is a Diablo list. So that concludes the finals of Fighters Road. Moving on to the West, let's talk about EU and EU Team League Continentals. So these did conclude over the last month, and the 1st place went to Team Golden Sun, who ran a lineup of Nightrose, Time Leap, and Nociel. In 2nd place was Team Illuminati. Their team lineup was Chaos Messiah, followed by Overlord, and finally Nociel. And in 3rd place was Team Road Trip Disaster. The first player of that team ran Machining, then there was Ripple, and Overlord. Jumping halfway across the world once again, we head on to North America, and the last undocumented Springfest qualifier in Ohio. So, the first place here was Team SFOSC. They had a lineup of Bluish Flames, Ahsha, and Nightrose. In 2nd place was Team Trip Paradox, which is kind of similar to Team Road Trip Disaster, and their team lineup was Chaos, Shot Noir with Tuskmaster, and Sanctuary Guard Dragon. And in 3rd place of Ohio was Team Refrost Did Nothing Wrong. In the first player spot there was a Thavas deck, followed by a Nociel deck and an Overlord deck. And finally, the last Team League event that still needs to be documented, so this will mark the end of Team League for the rest of the year, is the NA Continentals. The first place of this event went to Team Clown Fiesta. They ran a lineup of Freezeray Messiah, followed by Sanctuary Guard and Nociel. In 2nd place was Team No Guard at 4, not to be confused with Team No Guard, and their team lineup was Revenger, followed by Nociel, Gavrail, and Chaos. And finally in 3rd place was Team NW Thirst. Their team lineup was Time Leap, 7Cs, and Nociel with Gavrail. So we can see Nociel in pretty much all of the top 3 and actually the top 4, but I don't have the list of top 4, so there you have it. And the final event that we're going to be talking about for today is the first World Championship qualifier. So, they've finally begun, and the very first one was New York. These results are a bit special because they're split into blocks, so we have Block A and Block B results. First off, in Block A, the winner was Henry Chen with a Nociel list. In second place was Anton Carr with a Sanction Guard list. And in third place was Michael Chung with a Time Leap list. Looking at Block B, first place went to Thomas Caulder, who ran a PRISM list, so those of you wanting to build PRISMs, you can take a look at that. In second place was, some of you may know him, Jonathan H. Gall, and he ran Dimensional Robos, but it was pretty much Crazy Diamond 2.0. And in third place was Henry Gross, who ran a Revenger list. So, that's pretty much it for this month's wrap-up. There were not that many results, but it's nice to have Team League out of the way once and for all for the rest of this year, because I don't enjoy documenting it that much because I can't really show lists or anything, while as with the World Championship qualifiers and normal Japanese events, I can actually show the lists while talking about the players as well, because with Team League I just give shoutouts to the team names because it would take too long to name every single player, but with World Championship qualifiers I can actually, mention the names, and that helps kind of, bring up some personalities in the community. So, that's pretty much it for me today. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.